Okay, so I'm going to start out the watch list video for Monday with my recipe for success. Are you ready for this? I tweeted this, so I'm going to share it with everybody. It's been a prosperous 2017, and here's my numbers so far. And this is the recipe right here. Average hours per week worked 60, protests attended 0. Right there, that's all you need to know. That's your recipe for success if you want to make it. Also, one other thing to show. daytraderwayne.com. Go to that. Go to blogs. Wayne wrote another great blog called Trade Review, and he goes over OMER and tons of charts. And then when you get to this point, you get to watch a video. And the video is a little bit of a window into our trading course, which is, I'm going to mention real quick, the September 16th, I believe it is our last live course of 2017. So if you want to attend a live course versus buying a recorded version later, in the live course, of course, you get to watch as many times as you want because it's recorded as well. It's the last chance to do it in 2017. And there's a little back to school special right there. And lifetime chat $4.99. That's our 2004 pricing for when the website first opened. We're leaving that going for a little bit more. And then the live trading course for $9.99, normally $24.99. Doesn't get better than that. So watch that blog and let me know what you think. It is, like I said, a little bit of a window into our course if you can be there on September 16th. It's probably a full 11 hours without any fluff at all. It's none of that. Here's a basic candlestick pattern. Here's a doji, harami. None of that. It's all actionable stuff. It's all what Wayne and I do every single day to create the equity curves that you've seen and that we're still doing to pull money from the market every day. We tried to put something together that literally only focused on what you need to know, and we didn't try to fill in 11 hours of fluff. So it's a full 11 hours of intense stuff. So bring lunch if you sign up. The watch list for Monday. Well, let's go back to the SPY real quick. SPY, kind of got, I don't want to say, got a pretty nasty candle on Thursday. And then Friday, relatively speaking, a pretty narrow range, especially compared to Thursday. Here's the intraday on Friday. So just a total chop fest, right? Sideways chop fest. And there wasn't a lot to trade. Here's what I have to watch for Monday. We got this volume spike in ADMP. And on an intraday basis, you can kind of see that's pretty good volume. And you can go to like 15-minute candles or 60s. And that gives you a window of going back, a long time. And if you go to 60s, that was the biggest volume hour since July 20th or something, right? So that shows you, relatively speaking, that was pretty good volume for that stock. I want to see if there's any follow through on Monday. So that one goes on watch. Dry ships, you can't tell anything from the daily chart, but had the gap up on Friday. And it got slapped down. Not surprising, it's dry ships. But dry ships is worth having on our radar the entire week, all right, for a low-risk setup. It could have little mini squeezes in it, so I'm going to have it on a chart. JMEI, I'm sad to say I posted this volume spike right here. I said, hey, in the chat room, I said, hey, JMEI is getting unusual volume. And then it did a nice little flag and then took off some more. I never did anything with it, but, you can't ignore this massive relative volume for this stock and closing above a good month's worth of trading. So JMEI is another one, should be on watch all week. CYH, extremely powerful move. Did close off of its highs. 29 million shares traded. That's another one I want to watch all week. ZYNE, this is a weird looking chart because of the huge gap down. But if we go to 15-minute candles and I scroll over to take the gap out of it, you can kind of see how powerful that move was on, I guess that would have been Wednesday. Then Thursday and Friday kind of retraced part of that move, but not the whole move, and ended up closing kind of strong. So when you kind of zoom in, you can see why I'm watching that for a potential long on Monday. That's ZYNE. PLNT, Planet Fitness, did a really nice high volume breakout on Thursday and a kind of a quiet inside lower volume day on Friday. Possible third day play to continue that breakout. Still holding up pretty well. Teva, again, I hate this stock, but it did. I mean, look at the gap down. Every day has been red, and then finally on Friday it closed slightly above its open, kind of a narrow range. So this one might catch some buyers. If I'm short this thing from anywhere in here and I see this candle, I might be kind of a little bit quicker to cover on Monday. So we'll watch this one for a potential long. Again, ugly trader lately though. XXII, I actually went on YouTube Live just to experiment with it on Friday. So those of you that joined me, thanks for putting up with me just kind of babbling. I was just seeing what YouTube Live was all about. And actually, this thing, when I was on, was trading at like 207. And I'll show you that on an intraday basis in a minute. I said, you know, if I was a swing trader, I'd be nibbling on this right down there. And look at that strong close. It's going on watch. Now, I wish I was a swing trader, you know, when I see something like this, because I could have had a nice, I probably would have sold it all by the close. That's a nice move from 207 when I mentioned it to that close. But anyway, I do like the strength that it showed on Friday, and I want to watch this one. It's been on watch ever since the kind of breakout through 2 here on, you know, I guess the theory is it's the go-to company for low nicotine cigarettes, which might be mandated one of these days. So it's definitely in the news and worth watching. The reason I mentioned it when I was on YouTube Live was because it had come down. It had like, you know, 4 or 5 red days in a row after the 2. So it's kind of retesting the breakout area right in that area close to the daily 20 moving average. And it was holding. I'll show you the intraday now. It was holding all afternoon above 2, right? I guess it touched 2 right here, but it was holding. And when it started to curl up a little bit, this is when I mentioned it. I believe this is what it looked like on YouTube Live. And ended up closing right at the highs of the day. Wish I'd have taken it, but anyway. I'm going to watch it again on Monday. And again, thanks to those who joined me on YouTube Live. That's an experiment. I wanted to see what it was like, and I probably, maybe starting sometime next week, might jump on midday. So if you subscribe to me on YouTube, you should get an alert if I jump on midday. Just maybe do a morning recap for people that aren't in our chat room. Something I'm considering anyway. It's kind of a cool feature. PACB, really nice move. 2-day pullback. Popped again. We were watching it this day, and I missed the bounce. And then yesterday, Friday, puts in an inside day inside of that Thursday range. This one is one of my favorites going into Monday for a potential long. CSTM. Remember, guys, I'm a day trader, by the way. I don't hold overnight. I've said that before. And so keep that in mind. I am looking for stuff that I can make money on Monday and be back in cash before the closing bell. That's the true definition of a day trader, by the way. CSTM, really nice move here. Now we've got a couple red days. I kind of want it to come down closer to this area, but we don't always get what we want, and we might get what we want, but this one, I'm starting to watch that for a potential turn back up on Monday. And then lastly, I'm going to throw in Pixie, a recent IPO that went up through 1150, and man, just fallen apart ever since. Friday was its first close below $4. I mean, that thing's getting, at some point, value players are going to step in. I'm going to watch this one for a bounce on Monday. Okay, in addition to all that, we will add gappers in the pre-market and hopefully catch some nice trades on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see everybody tomorrow.